Okay, welcome to the Third Eye Trio. This is Mona Me. I will be bringing you 3 videos in one. I received a request to do an update on the King, the Empress, and the Pauper. And what I didn't want to do was to do the video with the Empress and the Pauper together, because I get the impression that she wants to kind of separate ties with him as much as possible. They do have to communicate as far as the kids are concerned, but it doesn't have to be face to face. It does not have to be, on the phone line, but it can be through text, email, through an arbitrator, through lawyers, through a mediator. So I am compelled to believe that prone to believe that she wants minimal communication and connection. And from what I'm getting from her, it's just not a good feeling. Every time you open up YouTube, you see her face next to his. So I'm going to try to avoid that. But I did want to do an update because it was a request of one of my subscribers. And I want to give the people what they want, but I don't want to do it at her expense. So basically what I did this reading before. I did it earlier, but the video was so long, and I want to keep each video, maybe 15 minutes a piece, or each reading 15 minutes a piece, and combine them. That way it's like a mini series for the King, the Empress, and the Pauper. But this is the sequel, so the follow-up. So anyway, so the cards that I got, the energy that I got initially, and I'm gonna move these cards around because I did it, but it was so long that I just couldn't post all of that. So the energy that I'm getting from her is game over, and you see the two X's over the P there. I'm getting the impression that she was saying, it's game over. Enough of all of you playing in my face. I'm over it. I'm done. Don't push me. So, and then the third card was to sleep on it, but it has 3 energies in this card. I think that they're trying to, I'm sorry. No, either one or two of them are trying to communicate with her telepathically, and he's actually, trying to, visit her dreams. Whether you know that you do that or not, sometimes you have the ability to actually astral project into someone's dreams, and he wants to talk to her on that level. And she's basically saying, in your dreams, man, in your dreams. She is over and done with this situation. From what I can see, she's over and done. So, in his dreams, he's having a good time with it, though. And when I say he, I mean the Pauper. But now in this particular card, don't push me, I see what I see is contracts, and that's the impression that I'm getting. So there's some issue about contracts, whether it's with him, whether it's something he needs to sign, maybe something the cast needs to sign, maybe she's asking for her contract to be renegotiated, or maybe with the cast. But whatever it is, she's saying, don't push me. You keep playing in my face, you don't have any more chances. It's game over for it all. And anything that you're asking for, if you think you're gonna keep playing in my face, dream on, because she's done with the shiznick, if I can say that. Now, here's the thing. She came in, and I'll pull these up as I did. She came in the 7 of Pentacles energy. Now, with the Strength card as her challenge or her obstacle, Now, initially when I saw this, I was saying that she was strong, she was courageous, and she has been all of that. But what I'm seeing, what I saw in retrospect, is she has shown great strength in dealing with the with the shiznick. I'm not gonna curse. I'm gonna be a good girl. So, but she's had enough of the of them playing in her face, and enough of the shiznick. So basically, she's shown great strength. Even though the wheel was in her fortune and she's had great fortune, she's reflecting back on the fortune that she's made with this particular project, or on this path of her life, this journey. She's done very well. She has had to be strong, and and she's done it with a smile on her face, as if though everything was there to celebrate, which it was. Everything, it was, but there was some pain behind it. She's shown a lot of strength to put the smile and to celebrate everything. She's taken every opportunity to celebrate her good fortune. But it's going to take even more strength, because I think she's moving on. But she thinks she can build it again. Maybe not in this time, in this place, with this group, but she's seen what she can do, her strength. And you see the sprinkle, the stardust, she's taming this tiger. She has seen this. I don't know if she realized how strong she was on this journey, but she knows now, and she has faith that she can actually move forward with or without this team. Because you see the horses are going in separate directions, but she can rein them back in, wrangle them back in, if she chooses to. But she can also move forward and have the same success. Now, this is the Knight of Swords, which is very strong and very knowledgeable and very structured. With this Knight of Swords, she can, in that particular energy, she knows that she will be able to create this Wheel of Fortune again. But she's very surprised that that Wheel of Fortune happened so fast. But it gives her the faith that she can do it again. It may come in slow, and I don't mean the success that she already has, because that has given her even more wind under her wings to know that she can build it again. Even maybe another show. And I don't know that to be true, but she will be able to do it, because I see a sense of her moving forward. But this cast, if they don't know now, they will know, because look at here, she's having to block some energies. It's saying no, they won't be able to come with her. They're gonna want to. Because they don't want to lose. And, I don't mean to call her out of her name, but they don't want to lose this cash cow. And that's what she is for them. She's a cash cow. But she's an empress. They know it. Now, the card I pulled for Angel Whisperers for her is intuition. So she is very, very intuitive. And the angel whisper is telling her to trust in yourself. Your inner whisper is working hard to let you know that it is guiding you. Listen in. What is it saying? Feel it. Where is it telling you to go next? Like I said, she was going to move forward. Where is it telling you to go next? See it. Close your eyes and allow. Trust the path you're on. So your affirmation, Empress Melody Cherie, is my intuition speaks to me and I listen. I trust that all things are happening for a purpose. So this friction, this kind of sort of underneath boil in this project of hers now, all she has to do is trust her intuition and she will be successful in making this happen for her all again. Now, she has been successful in things away from the show, maybe even because of the show, because she built her fan base on the show. So, but as far as the show, her project, her idea to bring this show to light, she can do that again somewhere else. So they better be careful, because they're gonna lose what's given them this opportunity. And without her, I'm sorry guys, but nobody cares. See? No. Nobody cares. Nobody cares without her. And, you know, it was funny because, you know, I said I need to do a reading for Nell Fletcher, because one of the things that one of the comments that she made was that her fans are giving her a big head. But, you know, I don't think they are. I mean, they may be. It's easy to get the big head when you have a fan base like she has, but I think she's grounded enough. I think what you're seeing on the show is, I don't want to say it's acting. I'm saying, I think what she does when she say the things that she say on the show that the cast or other people may not mesh with, so to speak, that's to let the fan base know, I hear you, I see you, baby, I see you, baby. So she's saying things that she's hearing from her fans that are giving her this, you know, this wind under her knees. I'm sorry, wind under her wings to continue to push her forward and upward. And, you know, the truth be known, some of you as the cast, you should be her biggest fans, because you're only there because of her. Okay, so I am going to, one of the things, I see this one here, Courage, which was under this Angel Whispers deck, 911. Oh, I'm sure this is her card, because 1111, that's her number. That's her number. And this is her card too. So I pulled, this is her true energy, and I don't care who says it's not. This was a true reading. This was confirmation, because 1111 is her number. So she will have things to celebrate for, because even if she chooses to move forward, she's going to celebrate with or without you. So stop fake supporting. Stop fake trying to make it up with her. Stop fake trying to be peacemakers or whatever. Whatever you're doing, you better get it together. And I'm talking about the cast, her supporting cast, because she is the leading lady, okay? But courage, she's got to have the courage to, and the strength card, which is both the same for me, but she's gonna need the necessary courage to leave people behind and things behind that no longer serve her. That's why that card appeared. And if she's going to move forward, all of you can't make it to the promised land with her. And I mean these fake friends, the fake supporters. And so, you know, sometimes you got to separate yourself as the flower away from those weeds, because they'll choke you. They will choke, you know, and then they take up energy, nutrients from the soil. They take up the sun, and that's what they want to do. They're trying to bloom like you bloom, but you are a flower. They are weeds. Sometimes you got to let them go by the wayside. You know, sometimes those weeds are there, and, you know, and they will get some of that sunlight, but then when time is up, when game is over, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. And so I thank you for listening, even with my raspy voice. That's okay. That's okay, because I was able to get through this reading, and I'll come back with the next one, and that will be on the King. Okay, so this was the Empress first. I did hers first, and I don't know how I'll organize it in the mini series, but they will be done differently. I may reference them throughout each video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, do that. It's free to subscribe. And thank you. I'll be back with the next video on the King. Eye trio. This is Mon Ami. This is the second reading, and this is for the King. Okay, so okay, just brace yourselves. Mr. King, or the King, understood the assignment. The problem is that those around him, or that were working with him, didn't understand the assignment. Now, so what he is telling you in this reading, his energy is, you know what? This is a show. I'm putting on a show. The show will go on. So there's some things, and we talked about in the Empresses or Melodies reading, how there were some contracts that may need to be signed, or there were some things that needed to be worked out, possibly amongst the staff, or maybe even with Melody. I'm not for sure. But he's saying, guys, listen, I am putting on a show. Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. This is not about you. This is about me. And these are the oracles. And just on his oracles alone, I see, I'm sorry, I see his reading, his full energy. Now, if this doesn't resonate with you, Mr. Carlos, just basically let it fly. But if it does resonate, I would like for even you to drop a comment. But maybe you don't want to do that because, yeah, right. So anyway, he's saying this is a show. Understand the assignment. Part of his job is investigating. Part of his job is putting the show on, and the show must go on. Even if you're in your feelings, you can either play or take your ball and go home. But he's going to press record. He's pressing play on his recorder, because this show is going to continue. So just be clear. Get out your feelings. It's not about you. It's about him. Now, he may actually be under some form of investigation. But he thinks those things are outdated. So that's old news for him. So he's not that concerned. Now, he may have made some bad choices on some of the things that he's done with the show. So if he's done those, he's going to probably offer an apology, but it's not, I don't get that it's a sincere apology. It's kind of like one of those sorry, not sorries. So, but get out your feelings because it's not about you. So if you're crying or whining to him, yeah, sorry, not sorry. Oh, or like Beyonce, I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry. So guys, this is his job. What he's doing, he's putting on a show. Not everybody's gonna like what he's doing. I was so very proud of him when he first came out and first presented the show. But then I connected the dots. I said, wait a minute, didn't he have something to do with love? What was the show? Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't know what the details are as far as that was concerned, but I also recall that he had some dealings with Love and Hip Hop. So the fact that he's not on any of those shows is telling for me, but I'm not going to go into that because I don't know the details. I've not done the investigation, so I won't put that on my channel because I don't want him to feel some kind of way about that. Now, the other thing I got here was one of the things that first of all, let me mention this. And he got the justice card here. I just want to go ahead and put that. Let me put these where they fell. Here and here. And it was actually this was on this side. I may have not done all 5 cards for him. But here's the thing. I think I saw this as probably what his past was. I mean, what was past for him. There were some people in their feelings. But let me tell you about the justice card. Before I started doing the readings, there were 3 decks. I like to make sure all of the cards are present in the decks before I do a reading on those, before I do a reading, and that they're all in the upright position. Now with the shuffling and whatever, if they flip around, then that's what it's supposed to be. But I don't like to really read in reverse, but I've learned that reading in reverse is apropos to the message. So basically, let's say the past was people were in their feelings. Now, his current energy is, guys, this is his fulfillment, his self-fulfillment. So he's getting out of this assignment. He's getting the outcome that he wants. But you're in your feelings. That doesn't have anything to do with him. This is what you signed up for, and you probably should have read the fine lines that were written in invisible ink. And that's why he's sorry, not sorry. Because even if they weren't written in ink, or they were written in invisible ink, you've seen reality shows before, and they don't always lean in your favorite character or a particular cast member's favor. So, but this is the assignment. He's been on shows before. You know how he operates. He is putting on a show, and the fact that this show at least at one time reached as the #1 show on OWN, that was self-fulfillment for him. But it's kind of selfish, because even though it was self-fulfillment for him, it left people in their feelings. And when people are saying on the show, this doesn't make me look good, I think I even told a couple of cast in maybe a chat, this doesn't look good for you, but they stayed with the show. They took that to Carlos. I mean, they've said that in either their chats or even on the show, maybe, that it didn't make them look good. But that's not what a #1 show is going to do, make you look good all the time. So he's the magician. He said he's working. He's mixing it, and he's getting the right potion together, because this is working for him. Now, let me tell you what, I slipped off the Justice card, but the 3 decks that I tried to make sure were all there, 3 decks, the Justice card was missing. Now, I think his birthday, I want to say that he is an, let's see, I want to say his birthday is, I'm getting that it's early October, maybe. I want to say early October. I'm getting the feeling. I'm getting the impression. I'm getting the feeling that his birthday is probably early October, which is the Justice card. So, therefore, it was missing. So there's no justice here, because not about your feelings, but there's probably going to be justice about the facts. But there's no justice because he actually made some bad choices of some of the things that he did, but he doesn't necessarily see it that way, because he got his wish fulfillment, and he also he received his personal justice in all of this. Now, he received reason to celebrate. Now, whether that celebration was because he was at least at one time the #1 show on OWN, as reported by him. I don't look at the statistics, but at one point it was. So this was good. And because he received those heights, he's reached those heights, he's been able to put on other shows and put his iron in other fires, so he can get other jobs. So it's a win-win for him, but it's gonna cause a tower. This is the future. Now, here's the thing. Unless it transforms. I see the butterflies there. Towers aren't always bad. Now, they shake things up. So, they give you a jerk and, really kind of shake the table, or kind of an earthquake moment, but they're not always bad. Sometimes they're uprooted by the roots because the foundation was bad. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't rebuild, but he may be able to do that. He may be able to do it. May not be as good as it was before, but he will. He will be able to do it because he's done it here, and he'll be able to do it again. So make no mistakes about it. He feels like this was a success for him. So you either get on board or get off the train. And I think that's the energy that he is in with a lot of people on a lot of the cast members, because he is not in the energy that he wants to pamper anybody's feelings. But he's gonna mind the business that pays him. And if there's a particular cast member that pays him, in which I think, and I don't know why he's missing this point, but I think is the Empress in this story is the business that pays him. That's who he's going to need to pacify but I don't think she wants to pacify. I think she's graduated from that. You know, you guys are on equal footing now. You have a production company. She has a production company. She has the ability to make big money because of the things that she did on the show. Now, she did, I have to say, she followed your lead, because I know one of the things that you tell your cast members is to get a product, whether that product is a service, whether that product is an actual physical product. Get a product, and that's going to be your success. Now, a lot of them have failed at that because, you know, they didn't understand the assignment. But for you, Mr. Carlos, there's going to be an uprooting, a tower in some form or fashion. It doesn't have to be a bad one, but it's going to shake some things up for you because your foundation isn't good. Because if you go in, and I'm just saying, even though you understand the assignment for you, you have to take in consideration what the assignment is for them. So when you know, it's easy to say, okay, if you don't want to play, take your ball and go home. But if you can't get someone to fill those spots, not just okay. So I'm sorry, my camera actually had shut down and I didn't know it. But what I was saying, I was getting ready to pull my cards up anyway. This is still on Mr. King, or the King. Even though, you know, that tower is going to occur. Now, you may not even see it as a tower if you still are self-fulfilled, but it may be a tower for those people that make the show for you. Now, that may, you know, and I really think you're in that energy. It's no sweat off my nose. But here's the thing. If they are uncomfortable and they leave the show in an untimely manner, then that is sweat off your nose, sweat off your brow, because you got to get back in there and make it happen again. Now, there are people invested in this idea, in this project, but there's some people invested in this project that really don't know how vested they are in this project, because they think they have the upper hand, but they don't, because they are replaceable, you know, and it would be quite unfortunate for them, because like I said, you may be self-fulfilled because they are replaceable, but they may not be. And I don't think that you want to come in with the sorry, not sorry, but that's just the energy that you're in. And so they're gonna have to, you know, you may actually be in that space, and I may have said this, but I had to, my camera stopped, but you may be in that energy of all aboard. If they, you know, whether they get on the train or not, the train is gonna leave. It's gonna move on. It'll move on without them. So anyway, that's my reading for Mr. The King. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna just submit all 3 videos separately, so I'm doing them together so it won't be so long. I'm kind of redoing them because it was almost an hour per video, and I'm just gonna leave the I'm retelling the pertinent part of the video, of the reading. So that was the King, and I'll finish up with the Pauper. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell friends. Going back and subscribe. Subscribing is free, and liking The video is free. If you want more on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I said I would not do it, but if I get a request, of course I will. So, I don't want to do too many because this show is kind of toxic. It's kind of, it's not a good feeling with them. But I apologize for the raspiness in my voice. I'm losing my voice in and out. And so if I stop, it's because I've lost my voice. But I'll be back with the third video. I'm Mon Ami with Third Eye Trio. Please and thank you. Welcome back to the Third Eye Trio. I'm sorry that my recorder, my camera died. And I didn't even want to use that word died, because let me tell you, I did do the tarot reading, but I didn't know my camera had stopped playing. So that's one way of knowing that Spirit did not want me to deliver that message, and I felt that strongly when I pulled the oracle cards, that I didn't even want to continue with tarot cards, and I said I didn't need to, because he told me already knew the tea, and what came out in the tarot cards was exactly that. Okay, so here's the message that you need to know if you, as Martel or Marty Mar, if you get this message, if you get this reading, this is the message that you absolutely need to know. It's imperative that you need to know this message. Please, I implore you to do the work. Do the work. Do the transformation. And that's what the change is. And you know about the butterfly. The butterfly goes through quite a bit of transformation to become a butterfly. And so it is very painful. This transformation for you is going to be very difficult, because first of all, you have to admit that there's a problem in order to address the problem. If you are not admitting where the problem lies, if you can't identify that there's a problem, that's a problem. So, and it will inhibit your transformation. It is imperative. Be careful about your private thoughts, your isolated thoughts, or the thoughts that you have in private when you're alone in his presence, because that could be your karma. That could be your karma, because if you're thinking toxic things or negative things in your private time, in your alone time, your time in his presence, and when I say his, I'm saying your higher being, and this is your higher self, you have to do the work. It's imperative, because with this combination of anger management, that's one of your demons. You've got to learn to manage your anger. Your it's going to destroy you. This envy will destroy you. So destroy you, it will destroy relationships, it will destroy an opportunity for this little opportunity of happiness. It will destroy you. So your fake apologies won't work with anybody anymore. Nobody is buying it. So your fake apology, and the song that I'm downloading is Your Lies Ain't Working Now. So this will be so obvious to the people that you need to convince that it is a real apology. Nobody's buying it anymore. Sorry doesn't mean anything anymore. So you kind of got that sorry, not sorry energy about all of this, or all that you can destroy. So that fake apology will not even, it won't work for anybody that it needs to work for, let me tell you. So you've made some bad choices in the beginning, and these demons, such as jealousy and envy, will continue to allow you to make bad choices. And that's not good for you. That's not good for you if you make those bad choices. Now, don't get me wrong. People around you have made some bad choices also. Now, I said before, even though you've done some bad things and the other people that surround you have done some bad things too, your envy may come around, may surround the fact that they've made bad choices, and you feel like you're the only person to have to take a downfall for it, or to suffer from your bad choices. That could be the envy that you have. But I think I left off on the last video discussing, I was about to do the tarot reading, and I did do the tarot reading, but the camera cut off before I went into tarot. But the message, I was told that the message was actually in the oracles. So fulfilling a fantasy, and that's why I don't like these isolated thoughts. So I don't know what fantasy that you were trying to fulfill and let play out in your that were in your isolated thoughts, but they weren't good. My brother, I'll say, because I don't want to, and we all are connected in some form of fashion. This almost breaks my heart, giving this reading, because this is going to make you make some choices that you can't recover from. And what you have to understand, and this may resonate with some of more than just him. Even though other people don't look like they're receiving their karma, that has nothing to do with you. They may not have to suffer the consequences for their bad choices. That has nothing to do with you. You've got to do the work for yourself. You have got to understand that their karma is their karma. Their karma is their karma, and your karma is your karma. So you don't know where it hurts for them. You don't know their experience, because they're keeping their karma close to their vest. They're keeping their cards close to their chest. So you can't see what they're going through, but yours was in the wide open. And so they may be suffering, you just don't know it. So, but this fantasy, fulfilling a fantasy, the fantasy that we all have free will, but you're going to make some bad choices. One of those choices is really, really unacceptable, and it can be detrimental to your relationships, whether business, platonic, or romantic. It can be detrimental to your relationships if you fulfill those fantasies that you have in those private thoughts, your isolated thoughts. So when you say game over is different from the previous reading, and it's funny that this card, not funny, not ha ha, but funny, that this card came out in 2 different decks for 2 different people. So it's game over. I think it came out in the Empress reading, but the game over for her and the game over for you may mean 2 different things. So I'm thinking back on the contract that was there in her reading, and the contract was basically saying, we've already ended our contract between the two of us. There is no more us. But because yours look more grim, that doesn't work for you. But it's gotta work for you. It's gotta work. It's over. And even though you say it with your mouth, you know, I reflect back on the meeting that you had with her in, I think, the juice bar, when let me tell you, she has the cards now. She has all of the cards now, and she has picked your card. She's pulled your card. She knows where it hurts. She knows where it hurts for you. So my advice to her, and I think she's trying to do this, my advice to her is pull back because of your isolated thoughts. Because this could go really, really bad. And it showed in the tarot. And so part of the reason I don't want to try to reenact the tarot cards, because it wasn't pretty. And the thing is, I think in your mind, in your heart of hearts, you really think you're doing the work, but there's some issues that you really have to dive deep into. You got to get to the core of these demons that you are dancing with. This anger and this envy, or it will destroy you. And you told me I already knew the tea. Spirit told me I already knew the tea. So it took my breath. I'm sorry, but it took my breath, and I didn't even light a candle. I really wish I had but here's the thing, because I want to actually give you the message that you need to have. I'm not showing the tarot cards. I'm not going to reenact that. Because it was very toxic. It was very toxic. But what I'm saying, if you choose to do the work, really do the work on yourself and not look at anybody else, they will dance with their own devils. They will dance with their own demons. Don't worry about them. You've got to do the work. And I pulled this angel whisper for you. This is 555, which is change. And I'm going to tell you something that was so odd, because I felt very uneasy when I did the reading before. I felt very uneasy as I did your tarot reading. And I'm getting goosebumps now. But when I realized that that the camera had died, it was 444, which meant I am protected. I am protected. So I have to be careful about the reading that I give when it comes to you, and I'm okay with that. So I won't do this. I won't reveal the tarot reading. I won't reenact it, because I'm not an actor. Well, I could be, but I'm not an actor here when I'm doing readings. I allow the messages to channel through me. And when I said I almost want to cry, in that scene from Love and Marriage Huntsville, the reunion, where Carlos cried, And I believe it to be fake, but on some level, I think it may have been genuine, because I don't necessarily know if he was crying for you or he felt some sense of responsibility to your destruction. And I think he felt some responsibility because you said you thought that if you had not done the show, that your marriage would still be intact. To me, that's foolishness. That's foolishness. That's something you need to work on. But so on some level, he may have taken some responsibility in your level of, in taking responsibility for his part, and for that he may have felt somewhat responsible for part of this destruction that you could potentially endure. And when I say that, it's because you've gone downhill, from there. You've gone downhill. There's some people that still support you, but let me tell you, it's fake support. It's fake support. It's fake love, because they still, how do I put this? They still see potential in you. If they see potential in you, that you can be on the rise, and you can. We can all learn from our mistakes, but you got to learn from your mistakes, or you're going to complete the same cycles over and over. Because if you don't learn, if you don't do the work, it's going to be self-destruction. And there will be casualties of war. But the war that you have with yourself. There will be casualties of war with your friends, with your business, with your commitments, with the family, whether it's mom, siblings, or children. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the work. And, even for the Empress, I refuse to do her tarots on videos, because I said it was her story to tell. This is your story to tell. I'll give you that same respect. Whether people think you deserve it or you don't deserve it, I'll give you that same respect. But I'm not saying promise me, but promise yourself that you will do the work. Change is inevitable for not just you, but for people. This is a difficult transformation for you. But change is, because this came back as change. So your growth is changing. The act of changing, the art of changing, that will be your growth. That's how you'll get to see this little bitty, this open, it's a small window of opportunity to see you're happy, but change is inevitable. And this is what the angel whisperers are telling you. Change happens outside of your comfort zone. That's why you see the struggle in this change. This was an easy change for you, but change happens outside of your comfort zone. The time for change is now. The angels are whispering for you to trust your path and to learn how to walk in it. Take the next step. Allow change to lift you up and guide you forward. Here's your affirmation. I release all that no longer serves me, as I am guided to move outside of my comfort zone and let change in. that is vital for your survival. It is vital for your survival. I hope, and another reason I didn't do the tarot, as it presented. I mean, of course, I didn't do it because the camera stopped. But you need an opportunity to make good choices without that having any effect on how you flow. It's kind of like that butterfly effect. This happens if you change what's supposed to happen, you change everything else around it. And so I'm not in that position to be able to do that for you. You've got to do the work. I can't do the work for you. Carlos can't do the work for you. Your ex can't do the work for you. You've got to do the work. You got to want it. You got to want it. You have this opportunity for happiness, this small window. And you see how narrow and how small it is? You got to be able to squeeze through that like the eye of a needle. That's how small that is. But there's always a window open for us to do the right thing, and a window open for our happiness on the other side of that. And that's why my heart breaks for you, because, you know, regardless of what you've done and what you've endured, the experiences in your life that led you up to this moment, you actually deserve the opportunity for happiness, as we all do. And because of those things that led up to this point is the reason that you behave the way you do. And that doesn't make me a fan of yours, but I'm an empath, so I can feel what you're feeling. And that's another reason I won't reenact that that tarot reading, because I could feel what you were feeling in that reading. And so I'm going to leave this here. May God have mercy. I'm going to say that. God have mercy. And in fact, to allow you to make the right decisions and take the right path. May God have mercy. That's going to conclude this reading. If this resonates with you, it doesn't have to just be a reading for who I was setting it up to be. Somebody needed to hear this. If this doesn't, if it resonates with you, please leave a comment down in the chat. We can open it up for conversation if you want. I will do that, and maybe, because I'm going to create somewhat of a mini series out of this, so I want people to if you want to hear more about this series, because this is the sequel, this series, as one of my subscribers asked me to do a follow-up or an update, I don't mind doing it. Because, okay, this was a card, I don't even know how it ended up, because people are going to watch it go down. People are enjoying the gossip. People, this is good TV for people as far as how your life will unfold. But you have the opportunity to change all of that because we have free will. So it's written, so it is so. You have free will to make your decisions. However, what's going to happen is going to happen. But I don't want to persuade you either way, but I do want to tell you to make the right decisions. Do the work on yourself. Change is inevitable. Your angels are, you still have angels. You write this affirmation in the in a book, and look into the mirror every day. Light a candle, a white candle, light it every day, and say, I release all that no longer serves me as I am guided to move outside of my comfort zone and let change in. And that can apply to anybody, but mostly to you. If you're seeing the numbers 555, this may connect with you. If you may not even know what your issues are, that could be detrimental to your relationships in your life. You may not know what those issues are, but when you release all that no longer serves you, as you are guided to move outside of your comfort zone and let change in, this may be a reading for you. This may resonate. So I want to thank Spirit Guide for guiding me through this reading and helping me to channel this message. I'll try to upload this today, which is the next day, because it did not. And if you notice with his reading, for whatever reason it was, I got interrupted by the housekeeper coming in. I got interrupted because I had the extra lock on the door when my daughter came in. I got interrupted with the camera cutting off. They did not want you to know what his isolated thoughts were, his terror. So that's why I didn't show it. I didn't try to reenact it. I just delivered the message as best as I could that you needed to know, but you didn't need to know all of the details. So, like I said, I'm going to conclude this reading. I'll see you with the next reading. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the next video. Thank you. This is Mona Me with Third Eye Trio.